Rising Venus signs, welcome to your 7-card draw. What do I need? A shadow read for this full moon in Aquarius, waning to new moon in Leo, July into August 2021. I am your reader, Pisces moon, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal, and I think over this weekend I'm going to do a little video about why I am the Archangel of Lyons, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, and what an Archangel is from what I have been shown, and I hope you check it out when it hits. Otherwise, let's get down to business. If you are new to the channel, a 7-card draw, or a 5 or an 8, whatever card draw it is, in this case 7, is one card from 7 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about what you need for a specific timeline this full moon in Aquarius to new in Leo. We're doing 2 tarot decks, 2 healing systems, and 3 oracles to get you that info that you need according to the higher powers, what I call the pantheons of the divine angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, the higher selves, and the pantheon of pantheons, which are the gods and goddesses, the deities of all cultures, traditions, lineages, whatever you want to call it. So let's get up in this gig. My cats are being absolutely adorable and yet very, very tricky today at the same time. Something about the moon and Chiron, some astrological kerfuffle going on, so they're kind of demonstrating that for me today. So I'm going with it. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box, along with some other cool links. A meditation I did for the soulmate reads. The meditation for the true lover is down in there, as well as lots of interesting stuff on my Vimeo, my book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch on Kindle is in there, as well as if you would like to book me for a reading, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, or on Facebook, Angelo Lyons in Holbrook, Long Island, New York. Cool. Actually have a Facebook video call read today, half-hour read. Someone in New York, which is cool, to read another New Yorker for a change. I've been reading people from all over the world, so if you want to book me, easy enough to do. You can even try dropping me an email at drawingthecircle@gmail.com, but I've been checking them and they've been all spam, right? All these offers for shit, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. So it's just easier to reach out to me on social media at this point, because the witch never goes to the client has to come to the witch. It's just how it's always been, right? Got to make the trek through the woods to get to the witch's cottage, or in this case, the witch's castle, my lovely condo here in Holbrook. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. It's a general read. You know that already, particularly if you've been following my channel. I'm a bit niche market because you could call me in the style of Sir Terry Pratchett, God rest his soul. I'm not a fortune teller, I'm a misfortune teller. I tell you not what you want to know, but what you need to know, and I always have been since jump. So let's get up in this gig. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, I love my Pisces. Here we go. That feels really, really nice for shadow read. Let's see what it's the table. As I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, and the pantheon of pantheons. What is, from the Caroline Myss archetype deck, the dominant archetype in their 8th chakra, needing to be alchemized from shadow to light, lead to gold, toxic to healthy, pain to peace, whether it's their archetype, somebody else's, a situation, all of that, some of that 8th chakra affecting everything else in their energy system. What are we looking at here? This full moon in Aquarius, waning to new moon in Leo. And we've got a survival family archetype. It's in the title, so if you're actually watching this, consider yourself actually brave, because it is the victim archetype. Now, all archetypes are neutral, but I'm going to pull it back a second even from that. This is a survival family archetype. Read, research, look into the work of Caroline Myss, MYSS, PhD, sacred contracts. There are 9 families of archetypes. The first family you learn about in her book, Sacred Contracts, is the survival family, which everybody has the 4 archetypes there. The child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. Now, I know the child feels sort of neutral, but they're all neutral. Not enough room on the card to put victim / victor. In other words, the victim archetype in the shadow is the shadow attribute, but then the light side, the gold side, what you're shooting for here is the victor, as in the spoils of war go to the victor, something like that. So everybody has this one. So even if you are dealing with somebody else who is playing victim here, you have the archetype too, because everybody does. Nations have, right? She did a work many, many years ago called The Sacred Contract of America, and it's even it's in everything. Companies, everything's got these 4. So the shadow attribute, the lead, if you will, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity. We've all done that, and that's how a lot of us learned how to survive growing up in certain families, certain societies. It's just all part of the conditioning, because we watched other people do it and we mirrored it. But an inability to maintain personal boundaries. Easy enough to set a boundary. Can you maintain it? Because victimization is quite literally when someone deliberately crosses a boundary. Now, when someone accidentally crosses a boundary, that's another conversation entirely. What does it take to maintain that? Before I go into the light attribute, and I certainly will, each archetype is like a guardian of a soul power. That we are learning to develop through taking on human incarnation, right? We are the soul. You take that conversation where you want to go, but you're a Pisces. You know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. It is the guardian of self-esteem and boundaries, but self-esteem is a verb, not a noun. So one of the ways that you certainly can practice self-esteem as a verb, like you would, I don't know, cooking, cleaning, dancing, running, whatever you do, art, right, is to consistently set the healthiest boundaries you can, because we learn our boundaries from our families and our societies. Womp womp. So whether this is you, a situation, another person, all of that, some of that, what you're shooting for is preventing you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others, right? So boundaries are not just about keeping things out, they are also about binding things back, right? So that text you want to send that you know, Pisces, dolphin or shark, right? A dolphin text is lovely. A shark, when you're literally going for blood, go through what you're going through, bind it back, say, let me keep this inside my boundary and do my own healing, the shadow work. And really, everyone on planet Earth is alchemizing this, particularly after what we've been through, let's just say since the dawn of time, but in particular the last year and a half, right? Like literally having to reassess all of these boundaries. Wow, I'm not surprised it came up, but we only had one other survival family archetype with the eternal child for Scorpio. So usually those pop up more than they did this time around. So let's look at what needs to go on here. We're going to talk to the angels of water to see the healing with the angels oracle. Who's the healing angels you can call upon here to help you with this? Breathe. As I call upon the angels and the archangels of water, the Gabrielites, direction of the west, powers of water, and the sign of Pisces, please, can we have one card in clarity for the beloved Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, alchemizing the victim archetype, which we are all doing, but they are 12th house dynamic, right? The collective unconscious, the oceans that unite all bodies, right? That emotional undercurrent, feeling, the empaths, the intuitive, vibrational, energetic empaths of the zodiac. Please, as they heal, we all heal, and I'm one of them, Pisces moon that I am. So who's the angels we need to call upon this full moon in Aquarius to new in Leo? The healing angel of blessings. Thank the gods The angels and the masters. What would the healing angel of blessings be all about? Well, it would certainly bring you blessings that heal, but also help you heal through blessings. And I'm going to tell you, if you're an empath and you're kind of taking it all in, I learned this from Matt Kahn. We're going to be using his Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck as our third to last card down. To start blessing silently, right? Whatever it is you see that seems to affront you, that triggers you, send the opposite energy. So if you are seeing lies, how can you not, right? I bless you with truth. I bless this situation with truth. I bless the people, places, and things. I bless blank with truth. Now, you might not feel that right away, but he says that our real happiness comes from fulfilling our true spiritual function, which is to be a blessing upon all of life. So it is a skill, blessings, that certainly can alchemize this from victim into victory. In other words, the healing angel of blessings is going to help you to alchemize the lead to gold from having boundaries that you can't hold to really putting up boundaries that are based in truth and light. And I just don't mean light. Light is truth. Enlightenment and truthment. Very powerful there from the Gabrielites. And I would think you would feel that too, because I've gotten high off it. I've gotten high off of blessing work, right? And that's why I'm wearing my blessing cords. That's why we end these readings with not just the Blessed Be deck, the new deck, which I'll talk about when we get there, but with the blessing. It's really drawing down from the 8th chakra such high mystical power, bringing it through the chakra system, out through the root and into the world, right? And you can get high on it. I mean, really, that's why full moons and new moons and any day of the week, part of every day for me is praying, in prayer for people, but I'm a mystic. Pisces moon. Anyway, let's see what's going on inside of you, because if this is the 8th chakra, what's going on in the crown, the third eye, the throat, and the heart, kind of tracing it down this way. And this is usually where the shadow work is involved, in the emotional, mental, personal field. Breathe. Yeah, I took a nice nap before this too. Just had a little sip of coffee at my lunch. Been finding balance for myself so I don't burn out doing these readings. That's why only 2 of them a day, but been posting every day. So if you want to subscribe, I got a lot of cool stuff doing the Path of True Love reads next. As I call upon my goddesses of Pisces. Oh, Artemis, Diana, Circe, please. My Amazon, my Empress, my Sorcerer, Witch, please. One card in clarity for the Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading, maybe even giving this reading. How can I not? Everybody's got the victim-victor archetype, and certainly the healing angels of blessings I work with every day. May this world be blessed with healing. And by the way, I got this from one of my guides. They said one of the best curses you can lay upon someone, because I'm really well trained as a witch. I won't go into it, but I was really well trained. May you heal. Right? May you heal. What's it like to heal? Right? May you heal. Like, you won't mind when that one comes back around, because you'll know you sent it out. All right, here we go. What is the heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic for the Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs? Watching this video, receiving this reading to help them really do the shadow work with this victim-victor archetype here in their 8th chakra with the healing angel of blessings. What's going on the inside, the yin side, their feminine energy, their divine feminine energy, right? The world behind their eyes. There we go. This full moon in Aquarius to new in Leo, 8 of Cups, withdrawal. And the daughters of the moon, this is not, yeah, I guess it's walking away, but it's really going within. You know, as we see so often with cups standing and cups spilled, this woman took a boat carrying a torch. I don't know how she rowed with a torch in her hand, but hey, you do you. To this island, right, to really get away and to follow her steps of intuition, her emotional guidance inward to what? Then find the 9th cup, right? That internal fulfillment. of happiness that then, of course, can lead to the 10 of Cups, ecstasy and bliss. Now, of course, being water signs that we are, we tend to very much be emotional regardless of placement, right? So I was born on a full moon, Virgo Sun, Pisces Moon, so I don't just like feel it. I oftentimes can sort of drown in it. So learning how to tread water here, learning how to set your boundaries, and if you are unsure, if you are feeling your stuff alone, which I don't think that happens in the quantum unity in any way, but you might be feeling the repressed emotion from millions of people, then certainly going within and going into your sacred space within yourself, right? Even if you live with other people. I don't. So it's easier for me somewhat to disconnect, although I do have neighbors. And of course, the more adept you are spiritually, however you want to phrase that for yourself, more along the path, the larger your energy field grows, and you are helping clear the energy fields of the planet, particularly if you identify as a divine feminine or first wave of ascension, right? The master empaths, and we are learning our mastery here, and that is certainly a victory. Now, like I said, I have the app, The Pattern. I guess if you want to follow me there, add me. We can compare each other's charts, whatever. It's a really good app. It gives you daily stuff for personal as well. This is not a promotion. I'm just saying I like the app. But they also give you world updates every day, and it's just like, today you might be feeling a little restless. I'm like, no shirt, shit luck. So what does this look like on the outer? This should give you some indication, either how you're appearing from the outside, looking in on the horizontal plane, or you looking out from the inside out, looking at some aspect of the physical world here, but something that would certainly come into contact with your root sacrum and or solar plexus chakras, completing all the way down. Breathe. Yeah, there's still something very comforting about this. Like for the victim-victor archetype, that healing angel of blessings and withdrawal, 8 of Cups, yeah, because that's inside you, that's really going deep and perfect for emotional shadow work. So I call upon my gods of water. And the sign of Pisces, certainly, Neptune, Triton, all those water titans in there. Please, one card in clarity for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What's going on the outside with this victim archetype? They're alchemizing, known or unknown to them, particularly if it's somebody else. It's all of us, right? With the healing angel of blessings and that 8 of Cups withdrawal. Going on lower 3 chakras, this full moon in Aquarius to new moon in Leo, the 4 of Cups. So a double whammy, feeling a little discontent, feeling perhaps a little bored, or I love saying it this way, the 4 of Cups to me is the meh card, right? Meh. But it can also mean emotional rest, right? Like sort of like how the 4 of swords is sort of that mental rest, and 4 of wands, that stabilization. And I know people say it's like the engagement or the wedding or whatever, but in the original Rider-Waite, it's just the setup, right? They're coming. The celebrants haven't made it there yet. They're in the distance. So emotionally, this can, and then of course the 4 of Pentacles, that stabilization. There can definitely be a feeling here of at least enough calm, enough peace, or at least dissatisfaction. I won't say disappointment, that's more of a 5 of Cups. That dissatisfaction, just like, ugh, how long do I have to wait? I know that's for somebody. How much longer do I have to keep doing this spiritual work to heal the planet, or whatever your storyline is there? And certainly, and with this card, the Mythic Tarot, this is Eros, Psyche, of the myth of Eros and Psyche. Her sister's coming to visit and essentially putting doubts in her ear. So maybe you do need to pull back from some toxic emotional people, or people, let's not say toxic emotional people, I hear that. People who are undergoing a toxic process with their emotions sounds a little bit better, but not really. So that you can really get some clarity on who you are, and then take that emotional distance to bless them, because it is so much easier to bless people when you are in more of a restful space, or at least one where your boundaries are nice and clear. I live alone, like I said, easy for me, but I know people who will just say, I will be in the bathroom and the door will be locked, and if you even knock without blood pouring from your eyes, you're going to get the shark. The vacuum? No. No. Maybe that too. Okay. All right. Well, this reading does seem to be following suit with some of the astrology that's going on, and now we're going to be going into, well, right after the full moon in Pisces, the next day or two will be that waning moon beginning, right, it'll be in Aquarius, full moon in Pisces, so full moon in Aquarius, so it will be in Pisces, but a day or so after. So you might get a jump start on this now if you're watching this before the full moon hits, but hey, take what resonates, right? Breathe. As I call upon the Ascended Masters, and we're just going to say the Ascended Masters of Healing here, right? With that blessing and that victim card on the table, and so much water for a Pisces read using the Metcon Healing Mantra deck. What is the perfect healing mantra to help the Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, heal, to alchemize this victim archetype with the healing angels of blessings that you have to call upon. I call upon the healing angels of blessing to heal me with blessing and bless me with healing and make me a channel of healing blessings and blessings that heal, however you do your thing, while they pull back into this Eight of Cups. The Four of Cups on the outer, it might be giving them a lovely little pause in things to pull back before that Five of Cups might necessarily hit. After that, a bit more of an emotional eruption. So what's their perfect healing mantra? This full moon in Aquarius to new in Leo. Unraveling Codependency. I knew it was going to come up sooner or later, and I'm glad it came up from us. I am actually going to read this from the Bookie Book. I've been trying to keep the Bookie Book reads to like one, but I think this one is so indicative, and this would definitely talk about either a family dynamic or a dynamic with another person. Because codependency ain't no joke. I know it's not drugs or alcohol, it's a silly form of addiction, but it is an addiction that crushes dreams. It destroys relationships. It really does. It destroys families. I've seen it happen, right? Especially when there's a truth teller who stands up. The mantra for this, I don't even need to look at it. Only I have to feel good about my choices. Could you hear the boundary in that? Only I have to feel good about my choices. A Scorpio friend of mine said, well, doesn't that mean that you're just going to like do something horrible? And I said, no, because you wouldn't really feel good about doing something horrible. This is about following your own heart and your own truth. And Pisces, you know, people don't get us. We could be like, I don't know, it's just a feeling. I'm going to follow my heart on this, right? If I could find the right page. Untangling codependence. Only I need to feel good about my choices. That's something a victor says. When codependency unravels, you are able to move freely in the direction of your heart's desires without needing permission from others. I don't know, like pulling away and saying, me time, heal me, bless me, so I can be a blessing upon this world. As codependency fades, you are able to honor the emotional reactions of others as crucial stages of their healing journey without taking responsibility for them. Look, I was born in 1968. I'm 52 years old. Yes, I know what I look. Thank you. But the deal is that thing you make me feel, when you do that, you make me feel and make you feel. Oh, no. I may very well have stepped on a trigger, but it's your landmine, right? I'm cleaning up my own, right? So the correct psychological language is when that happens, I feel. When you do that, I feel. Otherwise, it's giving the power of your emotions to somebody else. And Pisces, we can be the master empaths. You can say, whoa, I think I'm feeling what you're feeling here, so I'm just going to pull back so that I can get some clarity for myself so I don't, jabberjaw you. You should just like if you know what jabberjaw is. It's the craziest, daisiest shark you've ever saw. This mantra is ideal for healing family dynamics because that's usually where we learn it from. And if your family was completely healthily independent, first of all, lucky you, then you probably got it at school or from friends or through work, right? The mantra is ideal for healing family dynamics. Cultivating emotional freedom. hello, definitely this is on the table. And reclaiming personal power, because only I have to feel good about my choices, right? But if you do that, I'm worried. If you do that, I'll be worried. Well, then that's on you, right? If you're an adult and you're making your way in the world, and as a Pisces, really following your path, your intuitive path, you do not need other people's approval. It's nice to have their support, but you know, don't allow people to victimize you, to pop your bubble. That's why I don't share my bubble with people with needles in their hands. I mean, like Edward Needle hands, not like, you know what I mean. Hopefully you know what I mean. Don't hand your bubble to bubble poppers. I learned that from Florence Scovel Shinn, The Game of Life and How to Play It, back from the 20s. I think that book was written. All right, the Party Turner. Here we go. The Tina Turner deck, the Party Turner deck. Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of the higher selves of all involved, not just you. This is pretty much shaping up as a soul contract read. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to be doing the Path of True Love reads, what I call the Timeless True Love reads, Celtic Cross, and you might, I know, it'll be the last reading out, but 2 a day. I'll get there. Breathe. Check your other signs. Here we go. All right, here we go. I call to the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above 8th chakra and above, perhaps my own included, because it's been a little meh and the outside around here too. I'm out of isolation. I got my Johnson & Johnson, but you know, not really feeling to go anywhere or do anything. Just like, meh, let's just hang out in the garden. Let's just play with the cats. Let's just YouTube, Netflix, and chill. But only I have to feel good about my choices. So please, the higher selves of all involved, at the risk of me making this a total personal read, what is the whisper of love, the piece of information, inspiration, or insight that the Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading most need for alchemizing this victim into victor archetype with the healing angels of blessing, withdrawal, 4 cups on the outer, and unraveling codependence, because only we have to feel good about our choices this full moon in Aquarius to new in Leo. Physical touch is important. Said who? I agree. I agree. Well. I mean, this isn't necessarily getting your stuff touched, if you know what I'm saying. Maybe it is. Physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. Oh, is this speaking of a boundary to do our own healing and our own blessing, as well as to be a blessing on others through compassion, which is totally the point of being an empath in the higher octaves. We're all one. There's only one of us incarnate here, appearing to be billions, and not just humans, the life force, right? Prana, Chi, Reiki, Shmeiki, Eggs, and Bakey. So that physical, this might very well allow reaching out, of course, boundaried, right? Clear, healthy boundaries for some sort of physical touch. This could be massage. This could be, you know, reflexology. This could be any sort of physical thing like that. I could certainly use a massage. Who couldn't? Or really reaching out your hand to somebody and saying, it's okay. It's okay. Like going into this while this is going on, really, and then of your own choice that feels good to you, maybe reach out to somebody, hand on the back, give them a hug. Because sometimes when we pull back and we get, oh, only 2% of this emotion was me, how much you want to bet 50% of it was them? That person that I know and is in my life in some way, and reaching out, even if it's not a literal physical touch, right? That, ouch. It could very much be that thing of keeping in touch or getting in touch or reaching out to someone. But it is a loving thing. This is coming from love. So if you're feeling a little meh about a particular situation, really clarifying your boundaries, it does feel like someone's going to reach out here, and that would probably, because the first word of the card is physical touch is important, that there's some kind of contact here. Now, does this automatically make this romantic? No, could be. But this could be of a family member. This could be of a friend. This could be actually just sitting with somebody next to them and just saying, I'm here. I'm here. I'm going through what I'm going through. You're going through what you're going through, but I am here. And that's the point of being an empath. I don't know exactly why you're feeling what you're feeling. That's on you. But I can feel what you're feeling. I don't tell that to people. Not in my family, I sure don't. I can just say, whoa, something feels weird in the room. Something feels off in the room. And you know, I mean, we should teach our kids. I don't have kids, I have cats, and my cats know this. If something feels off, it's off, right? And that's why I will walk away from unapologetic toxicity, but sometimes gods just throw them in my path again and they say, deal with this. I'm okay, all right. But not until I've gotten the healing done that I need to do. And you know, if you're Reiki, Schmakey, Eggs and Bakey, right, vibrational healing touch, whatever, then that would certainly parlay into that, right, to bless with touch. It's a very, very clear intention, but do make sure that the boundaries on such touch, which also rhymes, is clearly defined and discussed beforehand, even though that might take the spontaneity out of it. I don't think any of us can afford to violate healthy boundaries. Agreed? Agreed. Last card down, the Blessed Bee deck by Lucy Cavendish, dedicated to the pantheon of pantheons, all of the deities, gods, and goddesses from all cultures, all races, all traditions, all lineages, even the starseeds. I'm Lyrian, if you can't tell. Please take a nice deep breath. Meow. Oh, that feels very different. Oh, instantaneous energy shift. Hello, my pantheons of pantheons. One card in clarity from the Blessed Bee deck. What is the blessing you are placing or have already placed upon the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, helping them to alchemize this shadow attribute from someone, maybe themselves, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, with an inability to maintain personal boundaries, into preventing them from letting themselves be victimized or victimizing others, working with the healing angels of blessings that they must call upon of their own free will, so that they can go into this Eight of Cups withdrawal on the inner to deal with this Four of Cups on the outer, which can be dissatisfaction, which that's the name of the energy, the emotion I'm feeling on that. It's dissatisfaction. Something's off here and I don't know what it is, so that they can unravel codependency, because only they have to feel good about their choices. And until they do feel good about a choice, why make it, right? But that physical touch is important somehow. For some of them, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it, unless that violates a boundary. Like they're asking for physical touch and there's something in the Pisces that says, no, that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. And I'm not making a choice that doesn't feel right. There is shadow work afoot here. So please, pantheons of pantheons. Boys. My boys are fighting in the living room. My pantheons of pantheons, what is the blessings that you place upon the Pisceans this full moon in Aquarius to new in Leo? Shit. I try not to curse on YouTube, but this is an oh shit. This is the last card in this deck. Now, for any of you Celtic witches out there, let's just say I was a priest of this goddess for a year as part of my clergy training in an organization I won't mention, but you can read it in my website. It's the Morrigan card. The Morrigan card. Morrigan's blessing of peace after battle. Whoa. Oh, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Oh my goodness gracious. Are you kidding me? It's a poem. It's a poem. Oh boy. Now, before I do this, like I said, I was a priest of the Morrigan for a year. I was a priest of the Morrigan, Lou, Breed, and Hearn a year each in my clergy training. I'm no longer a clergy member, but I still have my cords because they are blessing cords and my vows are symbolically contained within. Card number 46, Morrigan's blessing of peace after battle. Now, that means that there is a battle here. Now, I don't see this Four of Cups as a battle card, but that could also be an internal one, right? A codependent tug-of-war, right? Here we go. Yeah, Morrigan, I believe from the original Celtic, means great queen. Sort of like Hera in the Greek, but Celtic. Tuatha De Danann. A traditional blessing for those who have suffered hard times to be returned to peace and prosperity. Oh, let's get up in this one. I'll do this one for real. I do try to with all these. Breathe. Breathe with me. Give me the words and give me the energy behind the words. Peace as high as the sky. Sky to the earth. Earth beneath sky. Strength in everyone. A cup very full. A fullness of honey. Honor enough. Summer in winter. Spear supported by shield. Shields supported by forts. Forts fierce, eager for battle. Fleeces from sheep. Woods grown with antler tips. Forever destructions have departed. Nuts of trees. Forever destructions have departed. A branch dropping down from growth. Wealth for a son, very learned. Neck of bull, a bull from a song. Knots in wood, wood for a fire, fire as wanted. Palisades new and height, new and bright. Palisades new and bright. Salmon, their victory. The Boyne, their shelter, B-O-Y-N-E, look it up. Shelter with an excellence of length, new growth after spring. In autumn, horses increase over the land. Land told of with the excellence of word. Be might in the eternal, most excellent woods. Peace as high as the sky, 9 times eternal. Blessed be. I mean, Morrigan, blessings of peace after a battle? Well, I'll tell you one thing. The spoils of victory. Go to the victor. The spoils of war, go to the victory. Go to the victor. There is definitely something that is going on here. This is, I think, the most intense read of all of them, figures the last one down. And it might be about a literal physical crossing of a literal physical boundary here with that physical touch card. So to even approach that, now look, that could be a really traumatic thing, and certainly not to be healed or dealt with in a YouTube video, but certainly this pulling back seems appropriate. And to get that in all of this, that you getting back your own power, you breaking the chains of codependence, right? That only I have to feel good about my choices. And I might not feel good about any of my choices with this meh going on the outside. So going within, taking the time. Why wouldn't the amount of time you need to do that be part of that boundary until I'm ready? And I don't know when I'll be ready, but I will be ready when. But this definitely feels like this might be cleaning up after a battle of some kind. And, you know, you have to take a general read as a general read. So it'd be an internal battle. But with this Four of Cups, like I said, this is not a Five of Cups. This might be the peace after a battle that has left you somewhat dissatisfied here. But that blessing to move you forward. And we got the blessings card here and the blessing of peace after battle. All of them say a blessing of in this deck. But with that physical touch is important. That could be a reconciliatory hug, a shaking of hands, a coming together in some way to sort of let this settle, because all that prayer speaks about, because when I hear the Morrigan, I think, you know, the washer at the foreheads, right? The death crow, the death crone, right? Bab, the Magna, and all of that. oh God, just flashbacks of the Morrigan in my head there. So this is the piece that comes afterwards, right? The ravens have picked over the carrion, and the field is blooming with flowers and grass again, for some peace, for some rest. Let me put this together in the final blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. Wow. Like, I forgot that card is in there because it never came up in a reading before that I can remember, at least on YouTube. Breathe. As I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, the higher selves of all involved in the pantheons of pantheons. There are queens, there are great queens in every pantheon. That was just the voice of the Morrigan for all of them. Please, may the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need this full moon in Aquarius to new moon next, that they are very clear about what physical touch is important in their lives and which they are maybe not ready for. But for some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back, which is nice, or giving a hug to someone who needs it, and maybe they are the ones that need that hug or are in the position as they rest, as they heal, to eventually give that hug in some situation with the Four of Cups where there is some disinterest, some blah, some dissatisfaction, not necessarily disappointment, but dissatisfaction there, hence them pulling away into withdrawal, that Eight of Cups going within their own interior world, heart, throat, third eye, crown, to really rest, to really heal, to really feel what needs to be healed, alchemizing this into victory, preventing them from letting themselves be victimized or victimizing others, calling upon the healing angel of blessings there so that they can bring through these blessings for themselves, because the blessing has to go through their nervous system to get out into the world anyway, in terms of unraveling the codependent patterns and wounds in this situation, because only they have to feel good about their choices with the Morrigan's blessing of peace after battle, that whatever went on here, inner, outer, all of that, some of that, that they are able to come back into the world from this place of withdrawal as a blessing, as well as carrying those blessings with them from their own insight, them making the choices that feel the best for them, so that they may be blessed, so that the people around them may be blessed, and ultimately that all of us may be blessed for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So would it be, and so it is. Yeah, sorry, not boogieing down to the music on this one, not with the Morrigan last card down. I'll tell ya that this has been a very, very, very intense series, even though it's a shadow read, right? What's the shadow you need to alchemize and all of that? This one's been really, really tricky, but that's how I know that my guides and my cards are doing the right thing, because when I do the full moon to new moons, you know, they're way more fun. But this is the cleanup. This is the cleanup you need to do before the new moon so you can cast and intend for something brand new. So seriously, you want to go deeper on this stuff? I'm your witch. I'm doing, like I said, I think I said in this reading, I'm doing a Facebook video call today for a half hour. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, you know, all my deets are in the description box. Mark, Angelo, Lyons, Holbrook, New York. Drop me an email at gmail.com. And if you are so called, at least go check out my book, Words of Grace, because it is a book of prayer, but it's broken down in chakras, and it's in my voice. My clients who bought the book said, oh my God, it's like you're talking right in my ear, because they know my voice. And you can certainly preview it for free. Links in the description. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of the shadow work here for this full moon to new moon next, my beloved fishy family. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.